Oh yeah, I'll do the cricket sound myself. Well, let's start the show.
Okay. Now, if the woman calls the man Alice, then you know you're good.
That's a whole other ball game. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Ready.
It's a delay for.
I had that one queued up.
Welcome to Straight Shooting Firearms Talk Show presented by MyGunDiary.com and Drake Fine Sporting Arms of El Paso. With your hosts, Felix Menor and J. Scott Drake. And now, here they are.
Welcome to Straight Shooting Firearms Talk Show, episode number 22. That's double deuce.
Yeah.
The first show of 2018. We are back from a 2-week hiatus.
3 more episodes, we get an insurance break.
We do, and I'm very much looking forward to that. We need some breaks in 2018 because 2017 was kind of a bum year.
Like a frying pan to the face, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
But we are back. The 2-week hiatus was good. It allowed us to recharge our batteries and come full force in 2018. We got a lot of great stuff lined up for you. Sitting to my right is my co-host, Master Gunsmith, owner and proprietor of Drake Fine Sporting Arms, feeling slightly under the weather today, but he is giving it a go. He is the one and only J. Scott Drake.
Hi.
And to his right, you got a big round of applause today. I don't even know if I meant to do that.
I don't deserve that. It's all right. All right.
You do get a big round of applause today because you are feeling under the weather and you're still here giving it a go. But you got your coffee. I saw you take some sort of medicine. What was that?
Green tea.
Oh, green tea. Excellent. Yeah. That's good for you. And to his right is our lovely spokesmodel, the one and only Francesca Elaine Ricciuti.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that is my answer to when I mistakenly call you Elaine, which is not really a mistake.
No, it's her name.
Yeah, for some reason I say Elaine.
Just skip the first part.
I think I'll just call you Francesca Elaine Ricciuti.
Okay.
Just that way I can't go wrong. And of course, we want to thank our sponsor going into 2018. That is Cerakote Southwest, who do some fine work over there on the Lower Valley, on the east side of El Paso. They're who you want to go see if you want some custom Cerakote jobs on your designs.
Yeah,
Cerakote designs.
Whatever.
Well, they also do custom laser engraving as well.
Yep.
They
I've got
do
some
a lot of
stuff over
stuff.
there getting engraved right now by them, actually.
Is that
really?
so?
I do.
They just posted a Sig Sauer that they did. They posted it on their Instagram page at Cerakote Southwest, and a Sig Sauer that they did that they added like some yellow accents to.
Okay.
Super cool looking.
All right.
But if you want to see any more of their work or the laser engraving jobs that they've done, their website is also www.cerakotesw.com.
Yes, and go see them on Instagram as well, at Cerakote Southwest. So It's a great place to get familiar with the work that they do, the designs they do, their laser engraving, and they do fabulous, fabulous work. So thanks to Cerakote Southwest for being our sponsor going into what's going to be a great 2018. Now with that, I do want to mention the other great thing about 2018. The website, straightshootingshow.com, has had a lot of work done to it. The store is up and running, and we're going to pump that store.
Yeah, we need to pump that store. We haven't sold one thong. You know that?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely I think the prime product, the best product that we offer is that custom thong with the straight shooting logo. Mm-hmm. But you can get it with our parody of the good, the bad, and the ugly, right, and the other designs.
Well, we also added the store logos too. We've got the Drake Fine Sporting Arms, the crest. See, there's the thong right there. Who wouldn't want that? I've got 10.
Yeah, everybody's got a significant other in their life that would look great in a straight shooting show thong. Right. My goal really is to sell one. I really want to go in, get the sales report, and be like, we sold one. Somebody out there.
But you guys are like pushing this so hard. You know that Josh loves this show. You guys are going to end up making him buy me one.
Well,
okay, so
let me rephrase that. I would like for somebody to buy one who is not in our inner circle. You see what I'm saying?
Cool.
The
Josh.
inner
but
sanctum.
I do love what Josh got me from the website is my coffee mug.
Oh, awesome. He got it for you.
Yep.
Oh.
I thought he got it for himself.
Yeah.
And then it came to the house, and so I was like, I don't remember ordering anything. So I opened the box and I was like, oh, cool, the mug. And so I was like, hey, did you accidentally get this into the house? He's like, no, I got it for you.
That was very nice.
Oh.
Hey, speaking of Josh, Yeah, we mentioned we have a big homecoming. Now, Josh is Francesca Elaine Ricciuti's fiance.
Wow.
And is that some sort of Freudian slip?
I think so. I don't know.
Something going on? Josh is Francesca's fiance who has been on a deployment overseas, and he's coming home next week.
Next
Tuesday.
So
yeah, he's scheduled to arrive. I mean, we don't want to do any outside.
We have like a window of, but early next week, and we're hoping he's here before the next show.
Right.
And I'll put his
And
face
if he is,
in front of the camera. So
if he is, he'll be here in the studio, in the flesh. Yeah, which would be very cool. Now, another thing that we're doing new for 2018 is we are no longer, what we used to do when we did the intro to the show is we do the intro, the little thing, we'd say hello, I introduce Scott, I introduce Francesca, and then I would say what's on the show. But we always are open to taking suggestions from viewers, especially Scott's family, because they seem to be the ones that have the most to say about the show. And
my family.
Scott's brother, oh yeah, your mom has been watching too, yeah. Scott's brother suggested that we eliminate the portion of the show where we tell what's going to be on the show.
So in an attempt to try and save time, which we're not doing right
today.
now, but in an attempt to try and save time, we're not going to do the intro to what we're going to talk about. We're just going to lead into it.
Yeah, I mean, people who watch this show are familiar with it enough to know that we run the same segments every week anyways.
And I tell the same jokes and
no, it's no wonder we don't get any viewers. It's pretty right? stagnant. Yeah. But anyhow, I'm joking, of course. So every week we do Guns in the News, and then we do one of our segments, a few of our segments. We've got the Gun of the Week. We've got the You Show Me Yours, I'll Show You Mine, and we've got the Gunsmithing Job of the Week. And there's no need to tell you what's going to be on the show because it's a half-hour show. Boom, bing, bang, boom. Let's just get to it. And with that in mind, we're going to get right to it and get to our first segment, which is the Gun of the Week. The Gun of the Week is here. Yeah. The Gun of the Week is interesting because we went out and shot it, and this is something that you rarely see, and it's Scott shooting, holding, and enjoying. It seemed like he had a good time shooting an AR-15, and this AR-15
dun, dun, dun.
is a Diamond Back AR-15. I think you've got one there.
Yeah. Let me grab it.
And the reason it's the Gun of the Week is because
I don't want to get AR right now.
Yeah, I usually don't touch them either.
No, it's fine.
The reason it's the Gun of the Week is because you've got a couple of them for sale in the shop, and you sold one. It's a fantastic AR-15.
I've sold quite a few of these, man, and it's because. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I will.
You go ahead.
So I've sold quite a few of these, and I think for the price on this gun, you can't beat this AR-15 for what an AR-15 is meant to be, and that's throw it in the back of your truck, throw it in the back of your Jeep, whatever. It's there for you if you need it. No frills AR. Right. This is it.
Yes. And so, what kind of price are we talking about for that?
For this gun actually retails for about $549, somewhere in that range.
That's without any optics.
That's without any optics, but this thing's got a quad rail, free floated barrel. It's well set up, adjustable buttstock, of course. And then what we did on this one, and we're kind of selling it as a package, but these little Magpul flip up sights.
I love it.
And then this one actually, just by customer request, has a little micro red dot on it with a quick release.
Is that the one that we cited in?
This is the one we cited in. It didn't have the little red dot on it, but
okay. And so that's the video that you see playing behind us. Is we took it out and just zeroed the flip up sights real quick, and that's a nice service that you do for your customers here. Is zero in those sights, saves them a lot of trouble, so that at least when they take it out for the first time, it's going to be on the paper. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this AR-15 has features that you don't normally get in an AR-15 at that price point.
Not for that price point,
no. And those features are this really nice, high-quality quad rail handguard, the free-floating barrel, and the buttstock is actually a little different than the standard AR-15 buttstock as well. So yeah. And that one's by Diamond Back, and I believe you have another one in stock, right?
No, we
sold them both?
We're almost sold out of these, but...
John Barnes says hello. We got a lot of viewers.
Hey, John.
Our regulars from Facebook Live. So let's say hello to everybody watching on Facebook Live. We're going to absolutely continue Facebook Live through 2018, especially that I invested the money in getting that Mevo camera, and it's finally working. So, Yeah, so that AR-15 is absolutely fabulous, and that's by Diamond Back.
Well, and yeah, and just because the price point is low doesn't mean they skimp on quality. I mean, it's all made by Diamond Back, and what really impressed me was I'm not, open sights, I'm okay, but at 100 yards after we got it sighted in, what is this?
This is a surprise ending to the video. I'll let you watch it. We'll let everybody in the studio watch it.
There we go. There's that nose hair that I can hear in my microphone.
Yeah, I put it in slow motion just for you.
But at 100 yards open sights with that gun, I mean, I managed to, after we got it sighted in, it was just like I shot a 3-inch group at 100 yards with those open sights, and that was just kind of offhand.
We always joke around here on the show about that Scott is not a fan of AR-15s, but I don't remember where Francesca sits on the AR-15 debate.
I joke about it, but I really don't have something, really terribly one way or the other.
Do you own one?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, that says a little something.
Yeah, I mean, just not. I've never felt the calling to own one, but I mean, whatever. I joke about it. But.
Yeah,
I don't have a need for one. That's why I don't.
It was originally designed, the AR-15. Okay, the AR-15 is the civilian version of the M4. It was designed as a combat rifle. That .223 round has got really no other purpose than target shooting. Mm-hmm. You're right, plinking, varmints maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's kind of overpowering for a varmint rifle.
Yeah. But not my preference for bunny blasting, and not really what I'm going to use. Yeah. For coyotes, for
target shooting, it's fine. The ammo's affordable. The ammo's cheap, and it's an easy rifle to shoot. I own a couple of them just because I'm still in the military, so for me it's practice.
Right.
And I usually shoot expert or sharp shooter, so I think it helps. But we got a couple of AR-15s here in the shop. Scott does, and. From time to time, there's some on the shelf here. Big surprise. Yeah, not just.
And if you want one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a Diamond Back either. If you come in, we can order whatever you want and put it all together for you. We like to do that. We let people we'll sit down and talk about what they want to do, and then kind of build a package off of that and order it all. I'll put it all together for you.
Sure. Hey, John Barnes, one of our viewers, is coming home from overseas this week as well. So,
yay!
So a big homecoming for him as well. What a great week, 2018. Yeah. Hey, the AR-15 is also widely used as a police officer trooper firearm. They normally carry one in the trunk of their squad cars, and that's going to segue into our Guns in the News, because we've got 2 videos.
Is it the one where no, we did that last time where the guy steals it out of the car?
Yeah. The 2 videos that are police officer involved shootings that we're going to show. The first one is police officers confront a man with a gun. And the second one is the police officers confront a deer who does not have a gun.
The deer was absolutely armed. Yeah. I swear to God, he went for
Dangerous.
it.
All right, let's check out some Guns in the News.
This week in firearms news and current events.
Okay, as I mentioned, the first video here that we're going to watch is it's shocking. I mean, we don't really need to say viewer discretion advised. I mean, this is a firearms talk show, so it's for adults and whatnot, but. Police officers have a tough job.
Yep.
And we did talk a lot about different stories in the news last year where there was some questionable use of deadly force. But I think we'll all agree once you watch this video that there was no question as to the police officers had no choice in this one. So the man that you're watching here in the video is armed. He has his gun in his waistband, either in front or behind. I don't remember. But let's watch this video and then we'll comment on it.
I'm not going to tell you again. Got a gun in his back pocket.
It's a gun in his back pocket.
Get out now.
I thought he said he wasn't going to tell him again.
Get down on your knees. I'm not going to fucking tell you again. No, get down on your knees. I'm not going to tell you again. I'm not going to tell you again. Whoever's coming out of commerce, you're in a crossfire, so be careful. Keep your hands out where I can fucking see them. Go down on your knees. Gun in the back pocket, Ron. Don't touch the gun. Just fucking turn around.
Bag up. I'm telling you to bag up. I just told him bag up. I can set the gun down.
Don't touch the gun. Go down on your knees now.
I'm not going on my knees, so bag up. So I set the gun.
Y'all got him.
Stop walking up on me.
So you guys can't see it, but he just switched to a
I'm
taser.
gonna fucking tase you.
Or he's tasing him now.
So I'm going to back it up so we can see again. The guy reaches for the gun.
Just fucking turn around.
Bag up. I'm telling you, bag up. I just told him bag up. If I can set the gun down, he keep walking.
Don't touch the gun. Go
And
down.
it looks
on
like
your
right
knees
when he
now.
gets tased, the
He
gun
starts-
is in his hand.
yeah.
So that causes him.
Y'all got him.
Don't do that. Don't leave me, man.
Fucking tase your ass.
Right there,
Fucking
he's
tase
grabbing
you.
the gun.
Yep, see, he's reaching. Yep.
And now he's shooting. As
Yeah,
the guy is tasing him, he was shooting. Huh.
So very, very dramatic video. The police officer did give the guy a number of chances. I don't know why he switched to a taser. If you've got a suspect with a gun,
Right.
he's got the gun
Yeah.
in his back pocket. You've identified the firearm. He's not complying to get down. If the guy would have just done what the police officer said, get down on the ground, they would have taken the gun, right? He'd still be alive. Right? I don't know what the circumstances are, but when they're
I think he switched to the taser before the guy's hand went for the gun. So
Right.
I think the police officer is still trying to preserve this guy's life, even though he's being an idiot.
Yep.
But right at that moment, because he had turned away.
Yeah, his partners covered him. You know, the guy reached for the gun. The partners started putting rounds towards the suspect. They had no choice.
Definitely a tense situation right there, man. But, I would like to say, no need for the foul language, okay?
For sure, though, in that video, you could see the guy, the police officers had no choice but to pull their firearms on that one. All right, but now this next one is not so cut and dry. This next one involves a literal deer in the headlights.
This guy was a criminal. He went for his gun. He deserved what he got.
I believe this is in Minnesota or Michigan, up there somewhere where the Yoopers live. Yeah, they call them the Yoopers, right? The guys they live in Upper Michigan.
Bunch of weirdos up there.
Look, of all the accents I've heard from the United States, that Upper Michigan accent is the most annoying.
Well, and I joke because I've got some friends from up there, but they are the rednecks of the north.
Yeah. Now, what we're about to see is, as you can see in the preview here, it's a deer in the headlights, and some of the comments say that the police officer had to shoot the deer because he was injured, and they had no choice. However, from watching the video, the deer just looks like he's a deer in headlight. He doesn't look injured to me.
Well, it depends on what source you look at, but apparently, according to some of the sources, it had been hit by a car and it was hurt.
Yeah. Well,
So I put a question out to the viewers. You guys tell us whether you see anything that it looks hurt, injured, in shock.
So let's watch this. Now, would a deer under normal circumstances?
He ain't going nowhere, dude.
Well, let's listen. Maybe he'll say.
So that's their siren. They're trying to scare it to get it to move.
All the foul language.
I know, man. I know. Completely unnecessary. I'm not a fan of that. We get a laugh from the crowd.
It's about to go down. I wonder why they didn't try to nudge it a little bit with the car.
Like a horse.
Yeah.
Smack it. And
Yeah.
like they just said, you're touching him, I think.
Yeah, so they nudged him a little bit. Yeah, he said his ankle is broken.
Oh. Yeah, okay. I guess at that angle you can tell he's got his leg up. Yeah. So he's favoring his leg.
So he may have gotten hit by a car, broken ankle, and in shock. And that's why he's just like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. That answers that question. So much for the controversy.
So it's injured, you know.
Should
But
we show,
the
should we show
other thing-
the coup de grace?
Yeah, the other question that I have is how do you guys feel about this happening with, you can see where the cars are stopped right there.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's could be traumatizing, shouldn't be done, and maybe,
What if there's kids in the car?
yeah, maybe back people up a little
Hey,
bit more?
welcome to the real world, man.
Okay, so yeah, when we watched it the first time, it was a little loud in here. There's some people in here. We didn't hear the conversation. The police officer did say that the deer was injured, and so yeah, it probably got hit by a car and was in shock and injured.
You know, that sucks, man. I mean, you know, I don't like to see any animal go to waste, you know, like that. But at the same time, you know, if you ever tried to rehabilitate a wild animal, you can't do it, you know. So
that's some of the other comments that people were mentioning in the comments on that video, is that you can't rehabilitate a wild animal like that, so they had no choice. And then somebody else said that they took the deer and the meat was donated to a local shelter.
You know, and a lot of
like
times stuff like that, I know the game wardens out here and stuff like that, if they have to put an animal down, if they can get it processed and everything, I think they try to give it to you know, like the homeless groups and things like that, if they can.
Right. And I'm all for that. Now, you know, we've talked about going hunting together. We've talked about going bunny blasting. And one of my one of the things about hunting that I am firm on is I will not go hunting unless we're going to do something with the meat. Meaning we're either going to go get it butchered and keep it ourselves and eat it, share it with friends. But, you know, I hadn't thought of to go hunting and, to donate it.
And some groups will take it, some groups won't. You know, and that's cool.
But it shouldn't be too difficult to find, you know, put a little effort in finding a group that you can donate some meat to. You know,
and I don't shoot anything that somebody isn't going to eat. Right. You know, except for pigs, because pigs.
But I let's start with quail. We still got to go. I don't know if it's still in season, but yeah, let's go. I want to.
Not right now, but we'll go quail hunting. We'll get that on video. And
hey, one of the great things about Drake Fine Sporting Arms, of the many great things about Drake Fine Sporting Arms, it has quickly become, and I think you wanted it to become, a place where people come and make friends, hang out, talk. I mean, we've got several people here in the live studio audience, John and Andres. They have become friends, you know.
Well, like I said when I started this store, man, I don't want customers. I want friends.
Yeah,
you know.
they're like guests in your home here, essentially.
Right.
You know, this is like your gun
because
library.
Because he's here all the time and lives here, so they're good.
This is my man cave, and you're welcome to come and hang out and watch me work on guns here if you want.
I can speak for myself, and I'm sure you as well, and Francesca as well, and everybody here, is I've made some pretty good friends. And one of those friends is a very nice man named John, who has got this beautiful Springfield M1A that you did some work on to get the scope sighted in.
Well, yeah, that was a whole debacle with that scope. Yeah, well, I'll explain it as we go. But
yeah, he was kind enough to invite me. I shot a couple rounds through it when we were zeroing it, when you were zeroing the scope, and then he invited me to go out shooting the other day, and I've got a video I'm going to show of that, and that's going to lead us into our next segment called "You Show Me Yours, I'll Show You Mine."
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
And so this beautiful M1A is a gorgeous rifle. We went out and shot it at the Rod and Gun Club. There you get a good look at that rifle. And we shot that, and we put a few rounds also through that 300 Win Mag Browning that you also set. But tell me a little bit about the work that you did to get that scope set up, because you said it was quite a job.
Yeah, it was quite a job. So the way that those scope mounts work is they actually dovetail in. I don't know if you can see it, but they dovetail into the rear sight mount. Or into the rear sight dovetail, and then you're supposed to be able to use a thumb screw to pull it down, but the stock screw and everything that came with it, we couldn't get it to hold the torque necessary that it needed to keep the mount from springing back into place.
Okay.
And that could have been a manufacturing defect on that scope mount or whatever. But anyway, irregardless, we
is that even a word?
It's not. Nope.
Regardless.
Nevertheless. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's one of my pet peeves when people use that word, by the way. So anyway, so to get it to hold the torque necessary, what we did was we actually drilled out the threads, put new threads in, which was a whole debacle. Okay, so that thing is hard to steal. If you ever drill the threads out of that, get ready to have to do a lot of specialized threading.
Okay.
But anyway, so we got it to hold we replaced the stock screw, the stock threads, and it's really torqued in there now.
Okay.
So everything is great. But
The other thing I wanted to show is when we went out and shot it to zero it, it was really uncomfortable getting your cheek down to the stock, and we absolutely knew that it needed a cheek rest, and we found this gorgeous leather
That is
cheek
gorgeous.
rest, and it's really practical. So I got to shoot with it a few days ago when he took me out to shoot, and let me tell you, it is awesome. I'll post the name of the manufacturer. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I was going to ask, where did you guys, like,
It was
found
online.
or online?
No, yeah, we searched online for it,
Cool.
and we sent him the link, and he ended up buying it, and it's really awesome, and it was reasonably priced as well. So I'll post that information in the description when we post the show on YouTube later. But I had a lot of fun shooting that firearm. The M1A is on my wish list. It's they're kind of expensive. You're talking $1,600.
Well, this thing was really fun. Another thing we did for John, just because it's hard for him to do things, like this, but we actually took it out. We sighted it in for him, and then we worked up a dope chart for it.
We used it. We actually used it.
Good. Did it work for you guys?
It did. Yeah,
Great.
It did work. It was a windy day.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we were able to zero it pretty well. Our groups were pretty good, but the wind had our rounds jumping around, even at 100 yards with 308. Yeah. So your dope chart said we didn't have to, but we figured the wind into it because it was pretty windy, so that we had to figure that bullet was getting quite a bit of wind resistance on. There were 20 knot winds that day.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
But the dope chart we made for him, he should be able to go out, and I think we made it out to 500 yards, so he should be able to go out and dial corrections and all that just using this little dope chart that we made.
Now, speaking of scopes, we're going to get into our last segment, and a lot of work you do on scopes here. I mean, almost daily you're mounting scopes and whatnot. And one of the things we've been wanting to do on the show over the last few weeks, and we're still working up to it, is a 1,000-yard shot with a Mosin Nagant rifle from World War II. And that'll lead us into our last segment, the Gunsmithing Job of the Week.
It's time for the Gunsmithing Job of the Week.
All right, the Gunsmithing Job of the Week is this 1943 World War II Mosin Nagant, which we took out to shoot, and we ran into some problems as we were trying, because the first time we took it out to shoot it, we just wanted to see where the scope was initially, right? And then you noticed that it needed some work done to it. Then we took it out to the range again, and our goal was to shoot it at 100 yards. However, tell us what happened.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember what happened yesterday. You tell us what happened.
Well, you were trying to tighten the scope down. There was something wrong with the screws. There's gonna need some serious work done to it.
Oh, you're talking about this time. Yeah. So what had happened was the actual elevation adjustment screws. The way that you have to zero these scopes is it's all a mechanical zero. You basically dial the scope to your zero range, and then you mechanically zero the scope.
Okay.
All right, and then your corrections correlate.
Okay.
So the elevation adjustment screws could not hold the torque, and I'm not talking about like a massive amount of torque. I mean, I was just basically tightening it hand tight.
Right.
And it ended up stripping.
Well, you see it right here.
Right. So it's not like I'm muscling into this thing or anything.
And I saw that it was loose, and you kept trying to tighten it.
Right.
And you finally just pulled the screw out and took a look and said, what, it was stripped?
It stripped the screws, and it didn't strip the screw that I was actually tightening. It pushed the bottom, so it has two screws, one that works in from each direction.
Right.
What it did was push the bottom screw out and strip those threads.
And so what then is the fix for that?
So what we're going to do is go into the mount itself.
And you finally just pulled
Sorry.
the screw out and took a look and said, what, it was stripped?
Technical
Sorry.
difficulties.
What?
The
That
tablet
was me.
is not connected to my hotspot
So
anymore.
what we're going to do is go into this mount itself. We're going to drill out whatever those are threaded for, whatever they're tapped for, and tap it for a stronger thread. Probably a cap head screw.
Is that a difficult job?
Not really. As long as we don't work hard in the steel.
Yeah. Now the great thing about a Mosin Nagant, even a Mosin Nagant Sniper, is if you're having trouble with the scope, you pull it off and you can shoot it
Open
with the iron sights,
yeah.
which is what you'll see here in a second on the video. But I've owned this rifle for a number of years. I haven't shot it much, and I was kind of skeptical about this 1,000-yard attempt that we want to make, but now I'm into it.
Yeah.
Now I'm into it. Now that we've started, we're on our way. We've got some work to do.
Well, on the 1,000-yard thing, you know, when you said you wanted to do, or when we came up with it that we wanted to do a 1,000-yard Mosin shot, and everybody's like, yeah, let's just go and do it.
Yeah.
You know. Now you're seeing.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not that way. It's not that easy. Yeah.
No.
There have been on YouTube. I have seen people shooting these with the scope at 800 yards.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can lob a bunch of rounds down there and hit some stuff too.
Sure.
You know, and I see all the BS comments on these videos.
Right.
You know, some guy shoots and hits a 1,000-yard target, and then you know the comment is like, "Whoa, I grouped 4 inches at 1,000 yards with open sights." Yeah, I don't buy it.
But here you are shooting it just with the iron sights, and it's fun either way. But that's not what we set out to do. And at some point, we had to pull the scope off and just say, "Hey, that's it for the day."
Yeah, that's it for the scope. Yeah, let's just shoot a couple rounds. We'll have some fun, and then we'll get this thing back to the shop and do something.
It's not the easiest rifle to shoot. It's not the most practical. It doesn't have the best trigger.
Yeah.
It is a World War II battle rifle with a 3-power scope, which is going to be incredibly difficult to hit a target at 1,000 yards. We're talking about putting like a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of tile or something that we're going to mount, or maybe 24 inches by 24 inches. It's, from 1,000 yards, it's going to be very small. And we're going to take it out and try to make this shot, but we got some work to do, and that's why it's the Gunsmithing Job of the Week. And once again, it's one of my firearms. And thanks for all the work that you do on my firearms, Scott. I mean,
your firearms always become the Gunsmithing Job of the Week for weeks.
Right. I got a lot.
They need a lot of work.
I guess they're like me. They need a lot of loving. You know what I mean? They need a lot of attention, a lot of loving daily. But it's still a beautiful rifle. It is what it is. And stay tuned to the show.
I try to give him attention. He bitches because I call.
Yeah, right? Jeez, can't have your cake and eat it too.
I know, right?
Next week, I do want to show something that on the last show, I put up a flow chart. Watch episode 21, because Scott likes to call me a lot. And
he called you today?
He called me today.
Yeah.
And so I developed this flow chart, an easy flow chart for him to follow.
But today's call was super important, and it was outside of your nap window.
So when he was telling the story, I pointed out to Felix that the flow chart may need to be amended.
Yeah, unbeknownst to him,
Did you record it again?
No, unbeknownst to him, I ran a little late in my nap time start. So yeah, but what I want to do next week is make a new flow chart of when it's okay for me to call you, because your phone rang the other day, Sunday or Monday. I forget which day, whatever day it was.
Yeah.
And it was me frantically calling you.
No, it was Saturday because I was here.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I was calling you frantically because I'd gotten stuck in my car. Now I drive a Toyota Prius. It's not an off-road vehicle. I was out doing some photographies and down by the river, by the Rio Grande, and I got a little too overconfident, and I had to call Scott because my Prius got stuck. So this video you're watching here is my friend David and I.
Which is odd because the Prius is known as an off-road vehicle.
Is it?
It's common knowledge. Yeah. I don't blame you, Felix.
Now, fortunately, again, one of the friends of the
you
store.
You look like a homeless guy walking the train tracks.
Yeah, the immigration was looking at us. Kind of funny. The Border Patrol did drive by, but you can just...
They didn't offer to pull the Prius out?
No.
So
I called Scott because, as you'll see here in a second from the drone shot, the Prius was stuck in the marsh, and one of the friends of the store, Josh, big shout out to Josh, who is also a fellow active duty Army service member, was there within a half an hour, 40 minutes with his massive 4x4 truck. He had a tow strap and cables. He had everything needed to pull me out of there in like 2 seconds. So Josh, I owe you.
Pretty sure you can pull a Prius out of the mud with like a Tonka truck.
So
they're not that big.
Here it is. That's me on the phone with Scott right there saying, "Hey, Scott's got a Hummer. He can come get me out." And Scott's like, "Well, I'm at the shop. There's people here." He called Steve. Steve called Josh. Josh came and got me out. But it wasn't that it was that deep. It's just that it was there. I couldn't get any traction in the Prius, and I will no longer be taking the Prius.
Oh, and you ruined your sweater trying.
Yeah, I tried to get my sweater under there to get traction, to get it something to grip on. It didn't work. But it was solid road. The road was hard until it wasn't. and
Until it wasn't.
So, yeah, I learned the
Logic.
hard way. But the overhead shot here in a second. There I am trying. This is before Josh got there. This was the photograph I wanted to get of the Rio Grande, and then you'll see the drone goes up, and then you'll get an overhead shot real quick, and you'll see the car, and then we'll end the show.
Oh,
It's beautiful down there, even when there's very little water in the river. It's beautiful. Yeah, look at the drone. That's my Phantom drone. All right, so this is all hard.
And you found the one spot. Look, it's even like you can see the damp, like from above, you can see the damp spot.
From above, you can see it.
You chose the one spot, Felix.
Yeah. From above, you can see it. And I was like, thank God somebody with a truck and a tow strap came and got me. Otherwise, I'd be calling the tow truck.
Yeah.
You know, paying
And they
$200.
would laugh at you.
Yeah. Well, they'd be like, what are you doing with the Prius down here? Down by the Rio Grande.
I don't even know what accent that is.
Yeah.
well, and the funny thing was, you said I'm stuck in the river, and I thought, oh man,
What?
yeah.
So anyway, so that's a day in the life. But I called Scott. Scott called Steve. Steve called Josh, friend of the shop.
It's a whole network.
Does John, do you have a 4x4?
Yeah.
Oh, see, would have been another option. Yeah. I've only seen you driving that awesome.
Hellcat, yeah.
Yeah.
He could have gotten you out in a Hellcat, probably.
Speaking of photography, we want to.
She only goes certain places.
Hey,
Yeah, we should do a photo shoot.
Yeah, the Hellcat's more of an indoor car.
Yeah, I have a model lined up to do a photo shoot with the car, beautiful car. So stay tuned to my photography Instagram page is at Felix G Photo, and Francesca Elaine's is at Francesca Elaine Photography.
Mm-hmm.
Drake Fine Sporting Arms can be found at dfsa.us.
I don't have a photography page.
No. Our show can be found at straightshootingshow.com, and our sponsor, Cerakote Southwest, at Cerakote Southwest or www.cerakotesw.com. Those are all the plugs. That's how we end the show. We want to say goodbye. Thanks to everybody for tuning into episode 22. Thanks to our Facebook Live viewers.
Sorry we made you watch a deer get murdered.
It was humane. It was humane.
Yeah, I'm glad it turned out to be more humane.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see you all next time.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Straight Shooting when we take another shot.